Welcome to Home Cooking with Dad. If you had ever organized a barbecue or have been a grill master, you most probably had the same issues that I had. One, sometimes the meat is overcooked on the outside, almost burnt, but raw on the inside. Or maybe you find yourself that the people are waiting for the food to be prepared too long. You're taking too long on the grill that the food is not going up fast enough. Or you end up spending almost a whole night behind the grill and then enjoying yourself so much. So if you have these problems, then this video is for you. Well, I've got some tricks on how you can have well-prepared food served very quickly during the barbecue session. Some of the things that you may want to keep in mind during a barbecue is, one, try to pre-cook all the food that you have. Most of my recipes, I pre-cook them, and during the actual barbecue session, I only do the final stage, which is just caramelizing the sugars on top of the meat, on top of the marinade, and the corn and such like that. So it takes a very short time, but the meat is already perfectly cooked. Secondly is, avoid to have raw meat during the barbecue, because raw meat tends to have bacteria, and bacteria multiplies very fast at room temperature. Another thing you may consider is that you may need to have a proper size grill. A lot of us may not want to invest in a big grill like this unless you do barbecues very frequent. It's going to be just a waste. So if you live in a condominium or in a small space like that, you may want to buy the small portable grills, but that has a limitation. You can't do too many at one time. So what I'm going to do is, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use your oven and your stove top to get the same flavors as if you were using a barbecue grill. So that's it. Let's get started working on the barbecue. If you're preparing for a barbecue, it doesn't mean you have to spend the whole day preparing the dishes. What I do is I spread it out. The day before, I'll do some of the dishes. And one of the dishes that would benefit from being done the day before would be coleslaw. Unlike salads, where it wilt and it doesn't taste good the next day, coleslaw tends to be better the day after it's made. So for today, I'm going to start off with our recipes with making a coleslaw, and it's called the KFC coleslaw. I'm going to start off. I got some cabbage, some onions, and carrots. That's all the vegetables we need. So first thing I did is I washed this cabbage. I'm going to dry it off. I use a shredder and shred. By the way, just in case if you think it's not going to be messy, it is. It's going to be very messy. So I need to mince half a yellow onion. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, as it will be helpful for this channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. So this is the cabbage that I had shredded earlier. Okay, so one medium carrot. I'm going to use this part of the shredder. I want it to be very fine. So you got your carrots, the one carrot, the half onions, and the one head of cabbage. So I'm going to just mix those up. I'm going to start off with sugar. There's 7 tablespoons of sugar here, and then I need to put quarter cup of milk, and another quarter cup of buttermilk, and half cup of mayonnaise. So normally how I do this is I do measurements and then I go by taste. So I'm going to start off with quarter cup of buttermilk. That should be it. Quarter cup of milk, full cream milk. So that's a quarter cup of milk. And about half cup of mayonnaise. There's ground pepper. Start off with half teaspoon of salt. Lemon juice, about 2 tablespoons. Vinegar. One and a half teaspoons. You need to keep whisking until all the sugar granules has dissolved. Yep, tastes nice. It's sweet, sour, and it has a very creamy texture or taste. So that's right. You just need the sugar all dissolved. There's enough salt and a bit more mayonnaise. Perfect. So we need to now mix the this is the coleslaw, the vegetables, with the sauce. And you don't pour the whole thing in. You pour bit by bit. You do not want it to be too thin because eventually the vegetables will release some of its liquid and then it becomes too thin. So I'm going to keep this in the fridge. Your homemade barbecue sauce. You're going to need a lot of ingredients. So the first one is going to be, I put sugar. Start off with 5, and as you taste, you may want to add in 2, 3, and 5. I have already added sugar, so now I'm going to add in the water. So the brown sugar is almost dissolved. I'm going to add in the tomato. This is tomato ketchup. Well, actually 2.5 cups, sorry, of tomato ketchup. I'm going to add in some salt. All this is by taste. I'm going to start with about half teaspoon of salt. This is Tabasco sauce. That's 1 teaspoon. 2 tablespoons of pepper cider vinegar, Worcestershire sauce is 1 tablespoon, lime juice. I'm going to start off with 1 tablespoon. Okay, so go for the second one. So we need to put in about 1 tablespoon of honey. 1 tablespoon of honey. Second tablespoon. You should do it. I'm going to put in some smoked paprika. Should be about 1 tablespoon, but so I'm going to put that. It's good. Then you put liquid smoke. I'll start out with 1 teaspoon first. It's just not sour enough. More vinegar. So a bit more salt. Some chili flakes. It's about 1 tablespoon chili flakes. This is black pepper. Ground some black pepper, fresh black pepper. So it's 1 teaspoon here. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. So the final ingredient is going to be, I need to put about 40 grams of garlic, dice it very finely, chop it up, and then some ginger. So for the final 2 ingredients, I had chopped, finely diced, about 40 grams of garlic, and I had pounded about 55 grams of ginger, so I want to extract the juice. Put in half of it. It's got the spiciness of the ginger. A bit more. Tastes nice. Taste to see whether salt, acidity is enough. You may want to add it now. Salt's good. And started getting very spicy now because of the chili. Starting to flavor into the sauce. Now it's really spicy because the chilies, the chili flakes they put in, the pepper, and the ginger juice. Now the sauce is really spicy. There's a lot of heat in it. So this makes good, sticky, spicy chicken wings. So the garlic I think it should be cooked by now. It's starting to look glazy and it's quite thick enough. So maybe another minute or two and then I'm going to switch it off. Yeah, everything's done, it's cooked. So it's done. Switch off the flames, let it rest. I'm going to let this cool. I'm going to prepare the chicken wings. So I got about 2.2 kgs of wings, chicken wings. I have cleaned them and you need to double bag them. See, there are 2 bags here. So you put them in freezer bags, double bag, and you're going to put a bit of the sauce. It's already cool to room temperature. See, touch it. I'm going to put a bit of the sauce and marinate it overnight. You don't need much. The rest is during the barbecue, we'll be using it up. Take as much air as you can before you tie it up. Okay, this should be okay. So take out as much air as you can. Get some rubber bands and tie them up. So I'm going to put this in the chiller, right, overnight. So tomorrow morning, then we would, in the morning, I'll say warm it back to room temperature, and then I'm going to put this in the oven first. So the remaining of the barbecue sauce, I'm going to keep it in the fridge to be used tomorrow. One of the good things to bring for barbecue would be corn. Unfortunately, corn doesn't, it's not able to cook very well on a barbecue. So what I would do is, you need to prepare it beforehand. I'm going to steam this and then season it a little bit. And then at the barbecue, we put this on and just grill it a little bit. I'm going to season it with a bit of salt. Let's put a bit of salt on that. Just rub that in. So the corn has been seasoned with salt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down to a little bit more smaller sizes as portions. Okay, so I popped that in a steamer. And we shall steam it until it's cooked. So maybe it'll take about 30 minutes to 40 minutes. So now I'll season the corn. Some butter. Okay, there's a bit of sugar there. A bit of sugar. A bit of salt. So you got charred all over. This is what you want. So the corn is done. I use the skillet to caramelize the sugars on top of the corn. So it's got a smoky flavor to it. So I got some cuts of lamb when I serve for the barbecue. So we need to all make sure that they're all dry. So we pat them down with a paper towel. Right, get them all dry. And now I'm going to season them with a bit of salt and pepper. Salt. So the first thing you need to do now is I'm going to sear them using a iron cast skillet. I'm going to sear the meat before I put on the marinade. So I'm letting the skillet get hot and I'm going to put a bit of oil. So I'm only doing very short time for the meat to be on the grill. Let it rest. So now the lamb is resting. I'm going to put a bit of sauce. This is the barbecue sauce that we made yesterday. And cover them with saran wrap and put it in the fridge. This is just an iron griddle. It's just put it on top of your stovetop. This is a Tefal. It's about $150. You can get these. But if you're a person who likes to do barbecues and you don't want to, if you stay in a condo and you don't want to have just a whole barbecue set, you can get these kind of sets from, I think Lodge sells them from Lazada or Shopee. Okay, I've got my baking tray. I lined it with a bit of aluminum foil. Let's put some oil. If you were to put the chicken this way, it gets stick and eventually the skin will be peeled off and it wouldn't look so nice. So we try to put it with minimum contact to the foil. So I put the chicken wings onto the tray. I've also poured the marinade. You can see that the marinade is poured here. So now I'm going to put this in the oven. But before that, I need to make a smoking packet or smoking to smoke the chicken. The chicken wings. I'm going to use some wood chips. So this is a smoking wood chip blend. It's going to hickory, oak, and muskogee wood chips. So what I've done is I've soaked them in water for about almost 2 hours, and I've got another smaller tray. Put some aluminum foil, and we need to put the woods here. This is about a cup of wood. I measured it using a measuring cup, and that's about 1 cup of wood. Some of the liquids. Okay. So that's the smoking. So I'll put this on the top tray of the oven, just beside the grill, and when you turn on the grill, this will start cooking. And it will start smoking and the wood will start burning. Like some of the attachment that this was previously used, you can see it burned. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put it on the top tray here, just very close to the grill. So these are the wood chips that we had used to smoke the chicken wings. It's turned into charcoal, so don't throw this away because it's still you can use these. And I will show you how to use this in another video. So I've taken out of the oven, it's cooled down. This is the smoked chicken. So it's got a very strong smell of smokiness. So now what we need to do is we need to start marinating it. Use the marinade and start marinating it, and then leave it aside for about 15-20 minutes before we can start barbecuing. One thing good about this one is that the chicken skin does not stick to the pan. See, there's a lot of fluid. Don't throw this fluid, you can still use it. But if you look at it, most of the skin, the chicken actually is just can pick it up like that. It doesn't stick anywhere. So now let's start marinating. The chicken's already cooked, so you don't have to worry about it. You're just going to now use the barbecue to caramelize or to finish it off. We call it finishing off. We always learn to do something better. My son was asking me why I don't just dip it like that. Just dip it like that, and then since we're not going to keep the sauce. So this is the final stage where we can actually start to do the barbecue. Means you can put this on a normal barbecue and finish it off. Grill it. The meat is already cooked, so you don't have to worry about it. It's already evenly cooked.